Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. We're starting in just a minute. Everybody see the title. Who's worse, Trump or Epstein? I'm not sure. I'm not so sure about that. That's why I'm at. You just big in here. I'm talking, messing with my daughter. Yeah. So who's worse? We're gonna play a couple of clips today, and we're gonna figure it out. We're gonna figure out who's the worst. Sorry about that. The fan noise is out in here. I think it's about 90 something today. Maybe 90 something. Yep. We'll be starting with a few people getting in. We're gonna listen to some clips and stuff like that. Now we're gonna take it back a little bit. We're gonna explain. Everybody know what Jeffrey Epstein did. It's kind of like out in the public right now. But a lot of people forget about what Trump did and how he is towards his own daughter. I mean, it's sickening. We're gonna play a couple of clips. We're gonna go back and then we're gonna go forward. We're gonna go forward. This is going back. Let me turn it down. This is going a little back. This is when he used to be like over all them pageants and stuff. He's Trump is a real perv, bro. I mean, really a real perv. Here we go. We're gonna start it out now. Okay, commercials. Okay, let me get the commercials out of there. And just listen to what he says. Wait a minute. No, shut the door.
Trump talking about how he had free reign at his beauty pageants.
I'll go backstage before a show. Yes. And everyone's getting dressed and ready. And I'm allowed to go in because I'm the owner of the pageant and therefore I'm inspecting it. Is everyone okay? You know, they're standing there with no clue. Is everybody okay? And you see these incredible looking women. And so I sort of get away with things like that.
Today, a former...
What? That's a perv, bro, that does that.
And Miss Arizona, who calls herself a conservative, going public in an interview with KCBS, describing what she says happened backstage with Trump at a Miss USA pageant.
Our first introduction to him was when we were at the dress rehearsal and half naked changing into our bikinis.
Tasha Dixon detailing her discomfort.
To have the owner come waltzing in when we're naked or half naked in a very physically vulnerable position, and then to have the pressure of the the people that work for him telling us to go fawn all over him, go walk up to him, talk to him, get his attention.
She describes feeling helpless.
Who do you complain to? He owns the pageant. So there's no one to complain to. Everyone there works for him.
I'm just listening to some clips to let you know how much of a perv this dude is. I mean, he goes back. He's been doing this for a while. He's been doing this for like decades. And this is how he talks about his own daughter. This is a lot of people didn't hear it, or a lot of people forgot about it. He's talking about Ivanka. Out, Kyrie.
Absolutely. She has enough life experience. She's 35.
Not this one. Right here.
Didn't have an issue with it then. If they were using her to...
I don't think Ivanka would do that inside the magazine, although she does have a very nice figure. I've said that if Ivanka...
Did you hear what he said about his own daughter? She has a very nice figure. Now watch what he says about her.
Have an issue with it then. If they were using her to...
I don't think Ivanka would do that inside the magazine, although she does have a very nice figure. I've said that if Ivanka weren't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her. You know?
Oh, it's so weird.
It is so weird that he says that about his own daughter. Even General Kelly, when he was in the first term and Ivanka was working there, they said that when Ivanka used to come in his office and walk by, he said, "Ooh, that's a nice piece of ass." And they was like, "Sir, that's your daughter." He just like shrugged his shoulders. Like, so what? You ready to say he had dated his own daughter. If Ivanka wasn't his daughter, he'd definitely, and we know what he mean by date. That don't mean go out for ice cream. It don't mean go out for ice cream, guys, and you know he's not talking about going out for ice cream.
A final expense check came in the mail.
Now let's get to some real good stuff. Just gonna listen to a few clips today. Yeah, and then the dude is just lying his ass off. I mean, straight up lying his ass off. He what did I do with it? Let me go back up. Let me see. I gotta find it. Oh, here we go. Here we go. This is since everybody heard what he said about Ivanka, he would date her. You heard the women say he would go back there while they were dressing. They were naked. And this is what he mean by Ivanka.
Sirens blaring into the evening.
Huh?
Sex with you doesn't mean.
Yeah, here we go.
Predilections. How many times? How many times have we heard Donald Trump talk about wanting to fuck his daughter Ivanka?
He
And I'm
said
being
it plenty of
crass
times.
because it's crass.
Said it
When
plenty of
Donald
times.
Trump says, "Oh, perhaps I'd be dating her if Ivanka wasn't my daughter," he doesn't mean dating. We know what he means by that. We're all adults. We can speak like adults. He means having sex with. He doesn't mean going out to the soda fountain and having a banana split.
No, he don't mean
He
that.
doesn't mean an ice cream date. We
He
know
doesn't
what he
mean it.
means when he says it. Here is a compilation from CNN a few years ago about just how disgusting he has been about his own daughter, whom he lusts over.
Yet at times his fatherly praise is downright cringeworthy, like on The View in 2006.
Said that if Ivanka weren't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her. You know?
Oh, it's so weird. Stop. You know what you are?
Far from protecting his daughter from being talked about as a sex object, he has encouraged it multiple times. On Howard Stern's radio show in 2004 and then again in 2006.
By the way, your daughter,
She's beautiful.
I say that's a piece of ass.
You hear him and Howard Stern is talking about Ivanka, and he said, "Can I say your daughter's a nice piece of ass?" What kind of conversation do you have about your daughter like that? That is very sick. That is sick. Do you and your homeboys be at the bar and he be like, "Man, your daughter is something else. Can I say that?" He be that'll get you punched in the face. Yeah. You sure right about that. They flew on that Epstein jet too. Yeah, I'm not defending pedo.
Stop. You know what you are?
Far from protecting his daughter from being talked about
that's right.
as a sex object, he has encouraged it multiple
Stop
times.
defending
On
pedophiles.
Howard Stern's radio show in 2004 and then again in 2006.
By the way, your daughter,
She's beautiful.
I say that's a piece of ass.
Yeah.
She looks more voluptuous than ever.
She's actually always been very voluptuous.
It's
She's tall,
unbelievable.
she's almost 6 feet tall.
In May, Ivanka described herself as a feminist while defending her father on CBS after a scathing New York Times article about his alleged negative treatment of women.
Is there unending commentary on the female form?
No. I've
She
known
lied.
my father obviously my whole life, and he has total respect for women.
No, he don't.
The lovely Ivanka Trump.
Still, even Ivanka
What
seemed
did he say now?
confused when talk show host Wendy Williams asked about things the two have in common.
What's the favorite thing you have in common with your father?
Either real estate or golf.
Donald, with your daughter?
Well, I was going to say sex, but I can't relate that.
What is wrong with this dude? And he's the president. Didn't anybody know this before they voted for this guy? This dude is just as worse as Epstein. He's talking about his own daughter, what they have in common, and he was gonna say sex.
Still, even Ivanka seemed confused when talk show host Wendy Williams asked about things
What are
the
we
two
talking
have
about
in
here?
common.
What's the favorite thing you have in common with your father?
Either real estate or golf.
Donald, with your daughter?
Well, I was going to say sex, but I can't relate that.
That dude is sick, man. Do you see how his press secretaries and some of the women look up in there? Yeah, he's always been like that. This guy is a very sick man. I mean, very, very sick man. Very sick. And then he lied and said that he never draws anything. Like when it came out that he wrote a letter to Epstein for his 50th birthday. He said he didn't do it. He don't even draw. Well, if you go in the Trump Tower and you go in there where you can buy stuff at, he's got pictures that what he do like skyscrapers and stuff, and he do it for like the food pantry. He donates stuff like his drawings to the food pantry. People bid on it, and that money goes to the food pantry in New York. He used to do it like that. So he has plenty of drawings. And he come out today and say he's never drawn a picture before in his life. Well, Trump Tower is full of your drawings. See, you just can't say that and expect people to believe everything you say. Well, you know something. Most of his supporters, they believe it. They didn't even look up tariffs. The word tariffs. He was like, tariffs is not a tax. He said it like 50 million times. He beat it in their head so many times they believed it. All you would have to do is Google tariff, and it would have told you straight up, tariff is a tax. Nobody did it until after the election. Now they want to complain. This guy is a sick dude. And then when he came down the escalator, he told that she was like 12. And he say, how old are you? She said 12. He say, well, I'll be dating you in the next 10 years. What? You already, you imagine her, you imagining that little girl grown? Is that what you're doing? That's how sick you are? You're walking in the backstage of pageants. You think your daughter is beautiful. You said you would date her. We know what dating means. You really want to have sex with her. And you got you and Howard Stern talking about she a nice piece of ass. What kind of conversations do you have about your daughter? Those are not normal conversations for a man to have about his daughter. But the president does. This guy is so fucking perverted, man. Definitely perverted. Epstein and what's her name? Virginia Dufresne. Epstein got Virginia Dufresne from Mar-a-Lago when she was 14. So what is you doing up in Mar-a-Lago at 14? What kind of job did you have? They said she was like in the spa part, like giving people towels when he was at the spa, but I don't know. When Epstein came and got you, he had you doing all kind of stuff, so I don't believe that. You and Prince Andrew, it was Virginia Dufresne, Prince Andrew, Giselle Maxwell had Virginia Dufresne like tricking. She was tricking Virginia off with Prince Andrew and Epstein and all kind of partners that was coming up at Epstein on it. They had these girls working. And then Prince Andrew said he's never met her, but You look up Prince Andrew and Virginia Dufresne. You would see he knows her very well. You're standing there when she was like 14 or 15 with your arm around her waist. And Giselle Maxwell is standing right there in the photo too. So they were pimping these women, these girls out to these rich and powerful men. And Trump is not. He's not like innocent in this story. You can't be innocent if he's getting the girls from at your place. He's finding these women at your place. So I mean, he's not innocent. He knows everything. Why do you think he won't release the Epstein file? Because he's all over that. He's all over the Epstein. He has to be. That was his friend for over 15 years. All y'all did was party together. Melania partied with Epstein. You look at some pictures with Melania and Trump and Epstein, she looked like she was drugged out of her mind. Like she was something or drunk as hell. One of the two. They had the first lady up there lit. Well, how you say, before she was the first, they had her lit, bro. All of these women that was up there high and
If
drunk.
you're over 50 and
Excuse me, get that down. Yeah, but we're gonna get to some of this Epstein stuff too. We're gonna listen to what Epstein's brother said about who he thinks killed Epstein. His brother is insinuating Donald Trump did. You sure insinuating that. Here we go.
Because of what Jeffrey knew.
This is when he was talking to Don Lemon. And Don Lemon was asking him about some stuff. And this is the interview.
I don't think it's look, but
When you saw the interview with him, I think there was a couple of interviews. The one thing with Maria Bartiromo, where they sat down, and I mean, they were glum, and they're saying there's nothing there. I would be honest with you, there's nothing there. After years and years of pushing, and also calling this somehow a Democrat, according to them, conspiracy theory, and that somehow the Democrats were involved in your brother's death.
I don't think the Democrats. Look at it this way. Bill Barr, when he came out with that ridiculous statement, he was the Attorney General. You know, who did he look? If Jeffrey was murdered, which I believe he was, somebody did it. So the people who are coming out with these ridiculous statements, I think, are covering up for somebody.
Right.
Right. So
right.
Who are they covering up for?
Right.
You know, Bill Barr worked for the President of the United States. Kash Patel works for the President of the United States. Pam Bondi works for the President of the United States. Maybe someone should ask him what he knows.
Who do you think they're covering up for?
Who do they all work for?
They all work for Donald Trump.
Well, like I said in another interview, I wouldn't be surprised.
You wouldn't be surprised if Donald Trump was behind your brother's death? Are you saying that Donald Trump had your brother murdered, do you believe?
I'm not saying that. I'm saying if that's what it was, I wouldn't be surprised. We know that Jeffrey had dirt on Donald Trump. We know that. That's a fact. Because he said in 2016 with the election that if he said what he knew, they'd have to cancel the election. He didn't tell me what he knew, but that's what he said. And I've been public about that before. That shouldn't come as a shock.
Dirt
So,
like what? Dirt is how what?
Of course, Steve Bannon said that the only person he feared for Donald Trump's sake was Jeffrey Epstein.
Right.
Why? What do you think? Jeffrey was going to beat him up? No, it's because of what Jeffrey knew.
Right.
And what did Jeffrey know?
Well, I don't know. He didn't tell me what he knew, but he said if he said what he knew, they'd have to cancel the election.
You see that? You see, these people are crooked. These people, they know what the hell, they know he's on that list. Epstein had something on him too. Epstein knew he had a tape on Donald Trump. It's even been reported that Donald Trump had two Hussein underage, allegedly, on his lap, and when he got up off the bed, his pants was stained. They're talking about that now. It's been reported that they have pictures of that. That was in the files. So I mean, this dude is they're sick. Both of them are sick. Let's listen to Alan Dershowitz, and he's going to tell us because he was Epstein's lawyer. He's going to tell us that there are files. That there are files, and the president.
I know for a fact.
The president don't want to give them up.
I know for a fact documents are being suppressed. And they're being suppressed to protect individuals. I know the names of the individuals. I know why they're being suppressed. I know who's suppressing them. But I'm bound by confidentiality from a judge and cases, and I can't disclose what I know. But I hand to God, I know the names of people whose files are being suppressed in order to protect them. And that's wrong.
Here we are, the Epstein.
See? Alan Dershowitz was also Trump's impeachment lawyer in his last impeachment. So he's worked for Trump, and he was Epstein's lawyer in the case that Epstein had before wherever you want to say it. It's rules and regulations, the word, how you can say it on there. Yeah, but since what happened to him. Alan Dershowitz was his lawyer, so he would have seen those files. He would have seen the evidence against Epstein because he would have had to have a way to protect his client against claims from these people. So he's seen the names and the list, so-called list. And in Sean Spicer, and he was doing an interview with Sean Spicer. That's Trump's old press secretary in the last administration. He asked him, who are these people? He said they're everybody. He said, are they politicians? Are they? He said they're everybody. So anybody you can think of is on that list. Hell, even the Dalai Lama was in Epstein Island. I mean, it's crazy. I get what I don't know, guys. All I know is both of them are bad. That's all I can tell you. When you're talking about, I'm gonna have to hear it again, man. When you're talking about messing with your own daughter and you having conversations about how hot your daughter is and she has a nice ass, you a fucking pervert. Excuse my language. You're just a fucking pervert. The president is a fucking pervert for having conversations with another dude about his daughter like that. I'm from Texas. We don't do that.
My daughter's beautiful, Ivanka.
By the way, your daughter.
She's beautiful.
Can I say this? A piece of it.
Yeah.
For the last couple of years, I go out with somebody. That may be the best idea of all.
They sitting up there calling a girl a nice piece of ass. I can't even believe this. Yeah, pervert.
A past interview with Howard Stern now making headlines. Trump talking about how he had free reign at his beauty pageants.
I'll go backstage before a show.
Yes.
And everyone's getting dressed and ready. And I'm allowed to go in because I'm the owner of the pageant, and therefore I'm inspecting it. Is everyone okay? They're standing there with no clothes. Is everybody okay? And you see these incredible looking women.
They're standing there with no clothes. Is everybody okay? That ain't pervert shit? That ain't pervert shit. And I know it's probably some dudes in there like, hell, if you can get away with it, I'll do it too. I'm not gonna do no shit like that. It's supposed to be five women to every one man in the United States. But why would you? There's no need to be doing stuff like that. It's just yeah. There's too many women out there to be doing shit like that. We're gonna listen to it again. We're gonna listen to this again, guys.
How many times? How many times have we heard Donald Trump talk about wanting to fuck his daughter Ivanka? And I'm being crass because it's crass. When Donald Trump says, "Oh, perhaps I'd be dating her if Ivanka wasn't my daughter," he doesn't mean dating. We know what he means by that. We're all adults. We can speak like adults. He means having sex with. He doesn't mean going out to the soda fountain and having
It's been a
banana
minute.
split.
I think he met him when she was like 19 or 20.
He doesn't
somewhere
mean an
around
ice cream date. We know what he means when he says it. Here is a compilation from CNN a few years ago.
It was in the
about
late
just how
90s, late 90s.
disgusting
Yeah,
he
late
has
90s, I
been
think.
about his own daughter, whom he lusts over.
Let's face it,
You're either
Let me
lazy
get this
or
up
just
there.
not
Wait.
that bright. If you're
Commercial.
over 50 and haven't claimed your state back 25,000.
Okay.
Yet at times his
We'll go back a little bit.
And I'm being crass because it's crass. When Donald Trump says, oh, perhaps I'd be dating her if Ivanka wasn't my daughter, he doesn't mean dating. We know what he means by that. We're all adults. We can speak like adults. He means having sex with. He doesn't mean going out to the soda fountain and having a banana split. He doesn't mean an ice cream date. We know what he means when he says it. Here is a compilation from CNN a few years ago about just how disgusting he has been about his own daughter, whom he lusts.
He does. He does.
Yet at times his fatherly praise is
He just
downright
smacked her on the ass.
cringeworthy, like on The View in 2006.
Said that if Ivanka were my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her. You know?
That's so weird.
That is weird.
Far from protecting his daughter from being talked about as a sex object, he has encouraged it multiple times. On Howard Stern's radio show in 2004 and then again in 2006.
By the way, your daughter,
She's beautiful.
gosh, that's a piece of ass.
Yeah.
She looks more voluptuous than ever.
She's actually always been very voluptuous.
What?
She's tall. She's almost 6 feet tall.
Wait. Can I hear that again? What are you and Howard Stern talking about? You and Howard Stern talking about how voluptuous and come on, man. About you having conversations with other men about your daughter. About how fine she is.
She's actually always been very voluptuous.
Yeah, let me go back a little bit. This is crazy.
So weird. Stop. You know what? You are.
Far from protecting his daughter from being talked about as a sex object, he has encouraged it multiple times. On Howard Stern's radio show in 2004 and then again in 2006.
By the way, your daughter,
She's beautiful.
gosh, that's a piece of ass.
Yeah.
She looks more voluptuous than ever.
She's actually always been very voluptuous. She's tall. She's almost 6 feet tall.
In May, Ivanka described herself as a feminist
Yeah,
while defending
this is nasty. This is nasty.
Wendy Williams asked about things the two have in
Listen.
common.
What's the favorite thing you have in common with your father?
Either real estate or golf.
Donald, with your daughter?
Well, I was going to say sex, but I can't relate.
What the WTF? He said he can relate. He was gonna say he can relate to his daughter with sex. What is he talking about, guys? What is he talking about? You know what he said. You know exactly what he said. And she just sitting there laughing like it's a joke. It's not a joke. It's not a joke. That man really, really wants his own daughter. You're talking about her like she's just any other girl with Howard Stern. Like, hey man, it's just a chick we know that we ran into at the club. She was so fine, right? That's the way you talk, you know, to you and your boys. But to talk about your own daughter, man, my best friend better not even say nothing about my daughter. Period. I don't need you talking about how voluptuous she done got. You know what? Because me and you ain't going to be best friends in a minute. You don't do that. You're crossing the line. You're in violation. You're out of bounds. Flag on the plate. That's just what it is. That dude is a creep. And he's the president of the United States. He is just as bad as Epstein. Him, and I'm gonna tell you who definitely should be in jail is Prince Andrew. Because Prince Andrew messed with the same girl that Epstein did. You know what they did to him? Queen Elizabeth, before she passed and all of that, when Trump was president, she called the American government and told them, because he was going to go to jail because Prince Andrew was here. He was in the United States. To not lock him up, to let him leave and come back to England. They did. Trump let that man leave and go back to England, and they told him, you can never come back here again. If you do, we're going to file charges on you. So he should be locked up just you know, with Epstein, when Epstein was locked up. Prince Andrew had the girl flying out to England and partying at the nightclub with him, and she was underage. That dude is a pervert too, Prince Andrew. Yeah, Prince Andrew is a perv too. It's only one. See, I know a little bit about the military and how things work. I never was in the military, but a lot of my family members were. Hear stories about stuff. You know, I had one family member. He was like 30. He was in the military for like over 20 something years. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, man, you got a family and 3 kids. Every time he come home for a break, it seemed like he leave and his wife is pregnant. But anyway, Ghislaine Maxwell's father, can't remember his first name, but he was like a super spy, and he was like kind of like the first James Bond. He was like a spy in the I think maybe the 40s, and he was an Israeli spy, part of Mossad, and that's why everybody was thinking that Jeffrey Epstein was an agent. That Ghislaine Maxwell had brought him into the fold, and he had all these rich and powerful people around him, and Jeffrey Epstein was the guy who can be in a business letting foreign governments know what these people are up to. And if that's the case, they probably wouldn't release the files either to show that he was like a double agent or something like that he worked for the government. They wouldn't do that. But I'm not going to protect. I don't give a fuck if, excuse my language, I don't care if he was a spy or not. Release the files. Let's show if Bill Clinton did something, or whoever it is. I don't care who did what. Let's see the names and we'll deal with all of that later. Because if you're running around messing with young women like that, no matter who you are, you should be in jail. Yep. I know Clinton is on the list. Everybody know Clinton is on the list. You can't deny that Trump is on the list too, though. He's all over the flight logs. He's been to Epstein Island like 20 times. I mean, they all been there. It's like, you got to watch these people with these islands and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like Leonardo DiCaprio, he got an island too. Everybody know what Leo do on that island. It's grown women on that island. But it's pretty much the same thing, but with grown women. That's what Leo be doing. But this is, like I said, some sick people out there, man, and the president is one of them. You can't hold conversations with other men about how fine your daughter is. To me, you're not a man. You can't say that you would mess with your own daughter or date her. To me, you're not a man, you're a pervert. And that's what he said, so that's what I'm calling him. I'm not making it up. He said that. So I got a right to my opinion. The Epstein files do exist. Don't let that man tell you they don't. He don't want it to be out because he's in those files. He has to be in those files. That was his best friend for 15 years. He has to be in those files. How the hell is he not in those files? You've been on his plane. You've been into his island. How the hell you're not in those files? They got some shit on you, and the DOJ done seen it. That's why they. Oh, we don't. First what they say? We don't even. First they say we have the files are sitting on my desk, and then you turn around and say the files don't even exist. And then Trump comes out and say, yeah, the files exist, but it was made up by Comey and everybody else that was in the deep state, and the Democrats made it up, and Obama had something to do. We were like, what? What are you talking about? Obama wasn't even president the first time Epstein went to jail. When he first got that sweetheart deal in the 90s, Obama was not president in the late 90s. So the dude is just talking out his ass. He want to blame the Democrats for everything. He want to blame the Democrats for everything he's done wrong, even in his past life. Oh, it's the Democrats who did it because you know what? He's never going to take responsibility for anything in his life. He's never going to do it. I mean, you talking about sick people. Epstein and Trump are both sick people. Told that little girl when he was coming down the escalator, how old are you? She said 12. He said, I'm going to be dating you in 10 years. What? How do your brain even think like that? And just say it in your mouth, just spew that venom out of your mouth. How does your brain, how does it do that? So it's programmed to think nasty. Think perverted. Because that's what you always say. You always say some perverted shit. Epstein, Trump, I don't put it past allegedly him doing something to Epstein. He was the president. Bill Barr was his attorney general. Epstein used to work for Bill Barr's dad too back in the early 90s. Early to late 90s too. See, it's these people know each other. Maybe even Bill Barr is on the list. Because he worked for Bill Barr's dad, Epstein did, in the early and late 90s. Before he passed away. Or was it the late 80s to early? Yeah, maybe early 80s to late 80s. But he did work for him though. Just got to get the time right. And Ghislaine Maxwell's dad was a super fucking spy. He was part of Mossad. For Israel, he was an Israeli spy. So that, she could have, like I said, she could have brought Epstein into the fold. And now they're doing that spy shit on all of the rich and famous people. They're getting close to him, figuring out what they're doing, even setting them up with even young girls and putting it on tape and have something against them like blackmail. I don't know. That could be true too. If my dad was a super spy and then, yeah, shit, they'd be saying I was doing all kind of shit because of who my dad was. Her dad was definitely that. And then you got Caroline Levitt. She just, I don't even see how she do her job. I mean, did you just get paid to lie every day to the American public? I mean, we know you're lying. And you can see when she get angry. And she's very angry at Fox News lately. Very, very angry at Fox. Trump said today he gonna sue Fox News over that report that came out today talking about he wrote Jeffrey Epstein a birthday letter. He said if they published it, he was gonna sue them, and they published it. So he said he gonna sue Rupert Murdoch ass off. That man is so pissed off right now. Somebody tell him to go to sleep and stop tweeting and texting and truthing all night. 2 o'clock in the morning, you got a truth social post. Don't you ever go to sleep, man? You better go to sleep, Mr. President. You got a country you're supposed to be trying to run. Then you're gonna tear up everybody and bankrupt. You're gonna bankrupt America with all them tariffs, because everything sure is gonna go up. If he don't flip flop like he's been flip flopping, yeah, you're gonna really see what's gonna happen now. You see the prices at Walmart. If you go to Walmart and shop at Walmart, everything is pretty much. Some things are the same because we make a lot of stuff here, but the stuff that we don't make here is like double the price. Yep. Yeah, these dudes are. What's up, James? These dudes are perverts, man. We gotta call it for what it is. If you talking about your own daughter that you would date her and how voluptuous she is and you a pervert. If you talking like that about your own daughter, what else you want to say? And you said that on national TV. Like you wasn't even scared to say it. That's just who you are. Well, who you is, how you say it? Who you are, who you is, who you are. I guess that's how you say it. But yeah, he's the president of the United States and did just as much damage to young women as Epstein did. Epstein got Virginia Dupre from Mar-a-Lago when she was 14. So what is that little young girl working in Mar-a-Lago? What are you doing in Mar-a-Lago? Passing out towels to the people who's getting massages? Yeah, right. You got me, yeah, right. Epstein pulled her to the Epstein Island, had her messing with Prince Andrew and all kind of people. So there is a list. And she said Prince Andrew wasn't the only one. There is a list. Prince Andrew is banned from the United States. And that is a British royal. That's Prince Charles' little brother. Banned from the United States because him and Epstein messing with these young girls. Yeah, but that's all I had to say today, man. I'll probably be back on later. I'm gonna do some research and I'll probably be back on by 7:30, 8. See what else we can find out about what's going on with this guy and all of these people out here that want to defend these pedos. They need to get their priorities straight. Do you not want to find out who the people is in the list, on the list, so we can find out if we buying products from these people, or we're shopping at these people's stores, or we're listening to their music, or are we voting for these people? We need to know who these people are. And if Trump is on the list, so be it. If Clinton is on the list, so be it. Whoever it is, let's just put it out in the open and find out if we've been duped all this time and who the people that was doing it. Thank you guys very much. I appreciate it. I charge my devices up, and I'll be getting back to y'all later. Thank you very much for stopping by, guys. Been a good one.